Welcome back to our new songwriting series here on the Iron Fist channel. Let's get into it today right away. Let's just watch the show intro, and in 30 seconds, we'll be there and we're going to get right after it.
It began as a dream with two kids in high school. There was a spark, magic, chemistry. Then life happened. But 30 years later, the fire was reignited. The band is back, better and badder than ever. They prolifically turn out new music, songs hitting the tops of the charts in various corners of the world. Rockin' you since '82. Iron Fist.
Yes, we're back. All right. You know, Scott did a great job on this last episode of really just kind of bringing things together. So if you haven't seen that last episode, I believe it was episode 7, go look at it, because you need to see that before you see this, because it's all kind of progressive. So if this is the first video you've seen in the series, actually you might want to go back to just like episode 1. It's Songwriting Series 2, episode 1, and start there and see where all this came from. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get into it. So I actually, for me, I made notes. Can you believe that? I just want to respond to some things that Scott said and just share some thoughts, and then we're going to get like really digging deep into this song today, and hopefully we're going to come up with a good outline for the break that we've been working on for the last 2 or 3 episodes, and then talk about some other things as well. But for the most part, it's going to be about the break. One of the things that we worked on the last 2 episodes ago was the last several episodes was the chord progressions or the vocal harmonies for the break. And Scott said something interesting that I agree with, but wanted to elaborate on a little bit more. And he talked about the level of volume that we have when we play live. We have a pretty large sound system, and even for outdoor venues, the last one that we played at, we were 127 decibels front of house, and across the park, across the street, I think we were still at 119 decibels. So when he says loud, I want you to get a feel for what that's like. Yeah, it's loud. I do not believe in the philosophy that says volume covers up for garbage, but that's not what Scott was saying. What volume brings to the table, and the reason why rock bands are so loud, is because volume actually adds something that you can't get in your home stereo system. Turning off this microphone so we get rid of that little annoying feedback. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, volume provides something in the rock and roll concert experience that you can't get anywhere else, and that is feel. So where the album experience provides one thing, which is very sonic, the concert experience provides something that is almost tactile. Rock and roll music should hit you right here. And you know, you can wear earplugs, which takes out some of the high end, but it punches you in the gut. And to me, that's the true rock and roll experience. You know, we have the subwoofers and all the things that we need to create that feel and that experience. So the album experience provides one thing, and the album experience provides something else. Some things don't work live that work on the album, and I don't think there is, I won't say nobody, but there are very few rock and roll bands out there who do exactly the same thing live that they've done on the album. I know one of the songs that we've worked into the set list this last year is called Does It Take Two? And I actually realized that the way I sang it on the album worked. I mean, it did get us a #1 on the charts in Australia in the end of 2019, September, October 2019. So the song is good. But the way I was singing it on the album is not as easy to do live, and it doesn't work live, which is more important. I don't care if it's hard, but sometimes you need to just change things up a little bit to provide a little different experience that meets the fans and meets the crowd more where it's at. So just wanted to elaborate a little bit on that volume thing. As a I'm not really a sound guy, but I play one on YouTube, maybe, I don't know. Just wanted to elaborate on that. So another thing that Scott talked about was the intro to the song, and yes, I do want to do that bass guitar intro, and I'm sure he's going to do something pretty sweet with guitar or with drums. I'm the guitar player. I think he's the drummer. I'm not sure always about that. Excuse me. So that we will get to. I'm not sure we're going to get to that in this episode because I've got a lot of things I want to do today. But I really do want to get into that break, and I like what he did with the chord, the note progression. But I wanted to elaborate on my thinking in regards to what he was thinking. Yeah, let's just stop there, or we could go into this endless loop of like the song that never ends. Who was thinking? What was thinking? Who was thinking? I don't know. So I did know that he intended those to be just chords. So Scott, yes, I did get that. But what I heard was something that was a little bit more Striper-esque and enticing to the ear, if you will. So I like what I did, obviously, and the repetition worked. You're right, but I really like that half step down. So we want to work that into the song today, and then I think you're absolutely spot on. We need to look at this and see where do the lyrics now fall in the process of this. So I haven't put the song up on the screen here yet in the DAW, so let me get that done, and then I don't even remember where I was at because I haven't looked at this song in 2 weeks since the last time I brought you an episode. So let's get it after it, and we'll see what we've got. Okay, so 2 hours later, I had an open circuit somewhere in the sound system in this room and just an annoying bzzz. So I finally torrented everything and found it and all set now. So technical difficulties, you gotta love technology. But then I remind myself I have more technology in this room than most recording studios had 50 years ago. So it's all good. Anyway, so Scott was proposing this chord progression of this, something like that, and then dropping it down a half step, or yeah. So I went ahead and recorded that in, and I didn't record it in. I had it recorded in, and all I did was just copy paste and then drop it. So I didn't have to re-record this part. So let's listen to what we got right now here. So where that leaves us is at a B flat. And then he was proposing some kind of and that brings us right back then when we're done with that. Down to the A again. So we could do maybe some. So we'll get to that, but I kind of like that rather than hammering on that one chord. I haven't thought about what those chords might be. So we did B flat. I don't know. I'll think about that and come back to that in a few minutes. So I kind of like that. Do some kind of a driving and then drum fill. And then rather than doing, maybe it should be a bass. Being as the bass guitar is starting this, it could be some kind of a bass lick in there. So I think that's going to work. And I will come up with the chord progression that I'm going to present. And then we'll see what kind of bass composition we can get that might fit in there with his drum fill, since that's all rhythm stuff. Just might be different to do something like that. So give me my second here to find that chord progression, and I'll be right back. Did you miss me? I bet you hardly even knew I was gone, did you? So we're starting on that B flat, and then going up to a B, and I think going to an A flat, A, F sharp, G, E. And that leads us to a pretty good spot to land back into the A. So I think that chord progression works. So I got to think through what he was saying and then see how that applies to the song. So let's bring him in here real quick and listen to what he was saying.
2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so he was going. I'm going to propose. So we're here. So that could work. I'm not sure how many measures he was doing. Okay, so he was proposing. So I'm going to take some latitude on that and go. So maybe I'll let him take that from there. But I like the idea of doing this. With that and working those chords or a few of those chords into something with some kind of a bass. Did you catch that? Bass thing in there. You can't do that sound in your mouth unless you do this, the fingers. So you got to get that right or you'll never ever be a songwriter. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to again back it over the net to him and let him see where I'm going with that. I like the interest of it being an intense chord change. It could just progress up, could progress down. Maybe not. Maybe it needs to stay there, but I don't think it goes good to go back to here. And then to start back into the main chord, which doesn't work for me. So I think coming from an E, then works. So again, back over the net to you and see what we get back next time. So all I did right now was just put a filler in there that we can play with. So here's what we've got right now on this. At the end of the chorus. Maybe needs a transition chord in there, not sure. Don't like it. But it accomplishes what I hoped for. So I think that structure is going to work. We'll see what he says. Okay, so is it time for you to hear everything we have up to this point? Maybe. Let me see what he's got here for the kick, because I may want to take his kick. And sometimes I'll do this when I'm, excuse me, when I'm lacking pieces of the drums. I will just take and put a kick drum in on some of those spots just to fill it in a little bit. So let me go in here and play around a little bit and see what the kick looks like and see if I can just kind of replicate that temporarily through some of this. I obviously haven't done the second guitar. I haven't done the bass part yet. I don't want to really tear into that yet until we get things kind of solidified, because it won't take me long to just bang out that bass part. And when I do that, I will also bang out the song intro at the same time. All right, so I've got that temporary filler in there, and I've also laid in the last two choruses, and I think we're going to do a studio fade out. So if we repeat the chorus twice at the end and let it fade out, the total song ends up being about 3 minutes and 50 seconds. But, you know, so let me just play this out of the end of the first chorus, sorry, brain fade there, and through that tentative break that I've kind of stitched together here, And I've dropped in the kick and the snare, as I said, and then I'll just let it play right out to the end so you can kind of hear it. It's not going to fade because I'm not in the mastering suite, which is where you do that. I'm just in the regular DAW right now. And if you don't know what DAW is, it is basically a desktop audio workstation. Sorry, brain was kind of for a minute. So anyway, let's play this now. So out of that chorus, second chorus. Blah, blah. So you get the idea there anyway. And I think that's going to work pretty well. We haven't gotten to the fun part yet where we're going to start adding in all that ear candy. And I don't know that we're necessarily going to do that in this series, although maybe we'll do a bonus episode in this and we'll do some of that. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Drop some comments down there and let us know. Would you like to see the ookie, eeky, spooky, speaky, dookie, deaky, whatever we said? I don't remember. But if you'd like to see that stuff, let me know. And maybe we'll do a bonus episode on this and get into some of how we create some of those sounds. You might be surprised how it happens. So you got to say what you want because we're here for you. So if you say nothing, you might not get it. So this went a completely different direction. And I'm going back to my original Yeah, I rented my lips from somebody else. They're not mine and they don't work well. Anyway, the break, I wasn't planning on this. I was planning on putting it in this part right here. But didn't seem to fit right. So with the meter of what I wrote, here's kind of what I came up with, and I'm almost thinking it might just be a spoken part. So we'll see. I'm just going to do this right now. But I do need to turn things on so that I could record a voice, because if I can't record a voice, not really going to work so well, is it now? Sorry. I'll probably cut all this crap out because I can't see what in the freak I'm doing. There we go. Test. All right, that's a little bit quiet. Test. All right, there we go. Ish. Okay. Whatever. The dark inside, from horror past, slake the lust, will never last. Find fulfillment, it shall not be. Tortured soul, sadistic glee. Wow! Just like Mary. So you kind of see how I fit that in there. That was a complete... that was not what I was thinking at all. And the beautiful thing about that is I didn't record any of that, so I gotta do it again. Hang on, I'll be right back. Technology. 3 times I had to record it. For some reason it wouldn't cut, but it's in there now. So insert expletives of your choice. It's been a day of technology poop. The dark soul from horror past, slake the lust to never last. Find fulfillment, it we'll see what the doctor has to say about that. Well, where do we go from here now? This kind of reminds me of a story about Guns N' Roses where they were in the studio recording a song and they didn't know where to go. So they used filler and said, "Where do we go now? Oh, where do we go?" You might know that song. And they left it in there because they liked it. I never understood. I thought, where do we go now? What does that have to do with anything in the song? But when you know the story behind it, and it is kind of cool. So maybe that's lazy songwriting. Maybe they discovered something, but I'll tell you this. With the amount of money they made and as popular as that song is, I could live with that. You probably could too, couldn't you? So we got that in there. And let's go back. We haven't played this song for a while. And maybe what I'm going to do is I am going to just insert it here as it is right now from a studio track rather than you hearing it. I need to send it to Scott this way anyway, so if we're going to include you in the songwriting process, then that's definitely something we should be doing anyway once in a while. So from beginning to end, I'm going to send you what I have, and what I'm going to put the studio fade in it as well. And I'll find some cool thing to put here. I'm back! Apparently I'm going through puberty in my mid-50s. Anyway, I'm back. Did you miss me? So I've got the song laid out here in the mastering track, and I also added the studio fade out. So what I'm going to do is actually insert the mastered studio track in here while I'm listening to it. So I'll maybe do, I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll just insert it here and you can listen to it. So here we go. Technology. Ugh.
Innocent by day, a prowler at night. She walks away as long as there is light. But when the sun descends, the beast inside's awake.
we have the makings of a scratch demo, not a demo. So we've talked about that before, but I'll touch on it briefly. So a scratch demo, or what I call a composition demo, is basically a rough idea of what the song is going to be like. So now we need to send this back over to Scott and let him see everything I've done today. Let him hear this track. I'm actually going to send him this track now behind the scenes because, well, it won't be behind the scenes, but he needs this track to be able to put into his software and do whatever he wants to do with it as well. And now we're going to really, I would say, probably start swapping tracks. I need to write or come up with the bass part for the intro, obviously, and I think I'm just going to riff off of that part on that, and we'll see where that goes. And I also need to do the second guitar and the bass guitar for the chorus. So I think maybe my thought, Scott, this is for you. Everybody else, plug your ears, okay? You're not supposed to hear. I'm kidding. We probably should rip this next one and share it. So if you did like 15, 20 minutes, and then I do 15 or 20 minutes, where I can take the ideas that you ping pong back, put those into the instruments and whatever we need to do, and then put that in here. I think that makes sense for next week's episode. So if you disagree with that, send me what you think. But this is our generally only communication we have on this song. So I'm going to send you this track over. And we'll find out next week what Scott's thoughts are on this. So let me gather my thoughts in conclusion here, and I will be right. Told you I would be. Okay, so I think we've made good progress here. As I said in my last episode, I think, which was episode 6, things are going to be coming together very quickly. You can see that from what Scott gave me in episode 7, I think that was episode 7, we've got a song. And it's a pretty respectable song. We could take and re-record this stuff, add in some of his spoken blah, 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 heart attack stuff, and put some drums in it. And we could go with this song as it is, and it would be pretty good. But you ain't seen nothing yet, because we're just getting started. So I'm going to stop there on this. I want to get this published and get this out so that you have this episode for the weekend, because we know that Fridays are the best days to put out videos. How do I know that? Because I'm smart like that. Now, we know that on the weekends you guys watch stuff, and so we want to have this out Friday so that it's available to you on the weekend when you have time, especially since in the northern country it's snowing again. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. You will notice that down in the bottom left, there's a little icon right there on your screen. You can just click that and it brings up a box that says subscribe, and you can click that and then click that bell for notifications. Or after this video is over, when we're singing Talking to Machines and we show the Iron Fist logo with those boxes, the box on this side, I think it is going to be a subscribe one. And the other one, and I may have those backwards, but anyway, the other one is to a highly recommended video of ours from YouTube. So, you know, that's probably because they know you better than we do, and they're saying, of the Iron Fist channel, this is the one you need to see. So if YouTube is telling you that, you should listen to it, and you should click that, because there's a lot of material here on the channel. Why would you want to go anywhere else? Stay here. We want you. If you want to leave us comments, or you have ideas that you don't want to put here, please put here. But if there's things you want to send us, or links to something, or pictures you want to send us, go over to our Facebook page and meet us there. Facebook.com/Iron Fist online. Excuse me. Say that one more time when I'm not trying to hiccup. Ooh. For Facebook.com/Iron Fist online. We are also on Instagram /Iron Fist_ because somebody else used the online one. For Iron Fist _online. Of course, we're here on YouTube because you're watching us. So thanks for being here. And as we always end all of our YouTube shows, rock on!